right. Can I take a moment of silence so I can hopefully get out of the way and share a message, not a mess? All right, family, I'm Sky. I'm a grateful recovering addict. Man, as I look around here, like, it's nice to go to out of my area, but see a lot of people, a lot of familiar faces, you know. But I feel like, you know, to see, you know, congratulations on your, what is it, 33 years? Like, that's amazing. And you with your 7, like, I'm looking around here, I'm like, I'm such a baby, but at the end of the day, you guys are here at one point. You guys are sitting there just about to come up on 18 months and looking at people with 33 years like, hi, oh my God, I can never do that. But it's just one day at a time. A little bit about, you know, where I'm from. I'm from the north suburbs. Had a pretty normal childhood. Pretty much had everything I needed. Most of what I wanted. I was kind of a brat. I was an only child. Parents stayed together for the kids, you know, for the kid, because they loved each other so much. Not at all. They fought all the time, so that was my, you know, first view of a healthy relationship. No, not healthy at all. But so as I grew up, like, I always felt different, because I was, you know, everyone had brothers and sisters, or everyone had a bigger house, nicer cars, and I was like a broke kid in a rich town and an only child, so I didn't have anybody my age that I felt that I could identify with. I got picked on a lot when I was younger, and instead of, you know, having any kind of comebacks, I would end up crying. So I got called Kryler when I was growing up. It was really awesome, but it just helped me to feel not a part of. So I always felt different. Everything that I ever liked doing, I did to excess. Like, if I liked this piece of gum, I would put see how many pieces I could put in my mouth at a time. You know, if I liked a piece of chocolate, I would eat the whole bag. So, you know, now looking back and reflecting, I know I was an addict long before I picked up drugs. Fast forward a little bit, like, went to school, ended up finishing high school. You know, like I said, we weren't, you know, I didn't come from money, so it was like everyone in my town ended up going off to college after high school, and my dad kept suggesting that I go to community college and then go away, and I was like, well, everyone's going to have their friends already, and I'm not going to have any friends, and, you know, manipulation and rationalization and justifying why you should spend all of your money to send me away to college just so I can have all the freedom and do whatever I wanted. I wasn't allowed to stay out past, like, maybe 1 or 2 in the morning. I wasn't allowed to have sleepovers. You know, they tried to, like, overly control me, and I know I'm not the only one in the room that, you know, when you're told not to do something, you either do it twice. I do it twice, you know, once to spite you, once to see if I like it, and twice to spite you. So I go to college. Don't really remember much of it, but I managed to graduate with a teaching degree. And proceeded to, as soon as I graduated college, I chose to go to music festivals instead of getting a job, because that's, you know, that's normal, you know. So I continued to do that. I think that lasted a few years, and like, my disease progressed. It was like I had a college degree and I was working in restaurants, and I had no desire to get a different job, no desire to pursue my teaching degree. Still to this day, I've never worked in a school. And it just got worse and worse. Like, I didn't pick up anything other than, like, the normal things until I finished school, because I know today, if I did, I wouldn't have finished. I would have just left. Like, there's no reason to continue. But as soon as I dabbled in a lot of things, but then I found this one, it was like my one true love, because nothing else mattered. Once I picked that one thing up, it was like, that was all I saw, and that's all I cared about. Like, you know, as long as I can remember, my first drug of choice, quote, was escape. I wanted to escape being different. I wanted to escape being myself. I was never comfortable in my own skin. I hated you because I hated me. I didn't trust you because I didn't trust me. But once it was like that one thing, I just didn't care. Put my life in jeopardy, you know, basically playing Russian roulette every time I got high, because I just didn't care. I was not afraid to die. Ended up getting, you know, just got arrested a couple times, started getting big girl charges and going to jail, and, you know, it was like, apparently they don't like you to work in a school district when you're when you have felonies, like, it's not cool. You can't work for the state. So I kind of was like, oh, that was a waste of time. Let me just, like, the wheels just came off the bus. It got really, really bad. I've heard around the rooms that bottoms when you stop digging. I wasn't going to stop digging until I was dead. My last day out there, I was sitting at a bus stop at North Avenue in Sacramento because I had left my parents' house, and it was either, like, jump in front of a bus or jump in front of a car to try to kill myself because I couldn't afford the amount of drugs to take myself out, or do what it was either A or B, try to kill myself. One of my friends that I was actually out there with said, why don't you go to detox? Like, that's how bad it was. A using buddy said I should go to detox. So, at first I was like, they won't have a bed for me. They can't take me. I can't, they don't want me there. But, like, she said it again. She's like, do you want me to call them? And I was so defeated. I was so lost and so miserable that it was just, okay, fine. Like, please call them because otherwise I'm going to die. And that was the day before my mom's birthday on, 2000, I don't even remember what year, 2014? Yeah. Or October 17th was when I went to detox. Sorry, I'm getting the dates mixed up. But my mom picked me up. I called them to pick me up. I was telling my parents this whole time that everything was fine, I'm good, and I wasn't. I finally had a call, and this was like the first lesson in humility that I had. I had to call and ask for help. I had to admit that I was, it was either like call you or die. And, my parents, as much as they hated each other and as much as I thought they hated me, like, they were the people that were there when it counted. They came and picked me up in that crappy neighborhood and took me to detox the next day. I had not 2 pennies to rub together when I came in this time. Relapse is not part of my story. Resume is. I had got quote-unquote clean but wasn't working on anything, so I don't consider it a relapse. So I've picked up 1 white key tag. And I haven't found a reason to use since, it's been just over 15 months. And, I know when I first came in, I said something like, I don't know how, the rest of my life without getting high sounds so boring. Like, I'm not old. I just had my 29th birthday in June. Not just, I'm coming up on another birthday, but still. trying to make the distance between that, as far as possible, because it's kind of scary, but it's going to be my second clean birthday. God willing that I'm going to make it there. But, so, I forgot exactly what I was talking about, but, whatchamacallit. So I came into the meeting and I was like, I don't understand how, the rest of my life that sounds so boring to, like, not get high, because all I knew was getting high and numbing and having fun and partying. Like, I started partying at 16 and the party never stopped. It was just, it was like, not are we going out, it's what are we doing. And somebody was like, whoa, it's not the rest of your life, it's one day at a time, it's just for today. And, like, that is something that stuck with me. I didn't remember much from my first week to 30 days of clean time, but I remember the person saying it's one day at a time. I'm like, I can get through a day. Like, I'm not sick anymore. I don't feel like, I'm not physically sick. Mentally sick, emotionally sick, spiritually sick. Yes, I was all of those, but I wasn't physically sick anymore. So I was like, I can make it through another day. And I kept hearing, get a sponsor. I'm like, do I have to pay a person? Do I have to pay a sponsor? Like, I'm asking you to help me. Like, I knew about psychiatrists. I knew about treatment centers. I knew about, jails. I didn't have to pay them. But how do I ask this person to, like, walk me through my recovery and I don't owe you anything? So, as somebody that, I have to trust. And I don't know about you guys, but when I came in, it was trust no one, trust nothing. My dog has a leash still. I don't use it anymore, but it says trust no one. I know today that it's because I couldn't trust anyone because I couldn't trust myself. I was an untrustworthy piece of crap when I was out there. But I know I'm not the same person. That's my past, it's not my present, and I don't have to live like that anymore. And I'm grateful for that. But so I had asked a couple people to sponsor me, and it was a wishy-washy answer. And I want what I want when I want it. And I know I needed a sponsor because I don't want to use anymore. And these people are just kind of like wishy-washy about it. And I was just like, whatever, Okay, fine. Maybe they're not the right people for me. And then one of my friends in the program was like, I have this girl for you. And I was like, that's weird. And he gave me her number, and I was just like, I'm not going to call her. I don't know her. That's awkward. You know, I don't answer weird numbers. I don't call weird numbers. I went to a meeting the next day, and this girl was there. And we're sitting at the table, and the seventh tradition goes around. She takes out her wallet, and I'm like, I take out, and I'm like, it's the same wallet I have, and it's a really obscure, like, weird patterned wallet. I was like, okay, this is it. A lot of other weird things too, but it's just those commonalities, you know. And when I asked her, it was still that, like, let's go talk after the meeting, but maybe you call me every day for a week. And again, I was like, oh, like, I can't get what I want. This sucks. Like, never gonna find a sponsor at this rate. And I had to take a step back because I, had a week or two of meetings, and I'm like, it's not about instant gratification anymore. It's not like, I want this, so I'm going to do it. It's, I want this, and I might have to take a step back and let my higher power do what it needs to do. A week later, this girl said she'd sponsor me. Not too long after that, she's been there for every key tag I've picked up. She's gave me my medallion. She is there for me. Like, she makes jokes that at 15 months I still talk to her every day. Like, that's my relationship with her. I call her when things are good, things are bad, and things are indifferent. Because I got high no matter what. No matter what. On days that end in Y, I got high. So why would I not call my sponsor when it's good? Like, I want to tell her the good things. I want to tell her the bad things, because then she knows what's going on, and she can call me on my bullshit. Sorry if I can swear here, but she can call me out. She can be my eyes and ears. She knows when, I run my decisions by her. But so that was the first trusting relationship that I had probably in my life. I know I could trust my family, but there's a lot more there that I'm not going to get into, because it's, it's not necessarily a war story about using, but it's a war story of, my family. And I know today that it's more of gossip if I talk, bad about them. I do love them, but it's, I'll get there. But I could trust this person. I could trust my sponsor. I learned early on that, like, what I tell her won't get past her. I could tell her anything. My deepest, darkest secret, that one thing that I won't tell anyone, or didn't think I could tell anybody, I could tell her. And know that that's, she's not going to look at me like I have three heads. She's going to either have experience with that or know somebody that has experience with that. And for that, I'm just so grateful for her. Shortly after that, she introduced me to my grand sponsor, who, to this day, I have a working relationship with my grand sponsor. She's absolutely wonderful. I'm really grateful for my sponsor and my grand sponsor. Without those two women, I learned now that people's lives get busy. Like, I had nothing to do when I first came around, because I didn't have a job, I had no money, I was living at my parents' house, and I was miserable. But, like, I couldn't understand why you didn't answer the phone when I called. Because you have a job, you have a family, you have kids to take care of. And I'm like, when am I going to have that? When's my life going to get full? Just keep coming back. They told me. I was like, all right, whatever. You suck. Don't say that anymore. So I think it was like around 90 days when right before I picked up 90 days, that I kind of had to make a decision, because I was miserable living with my parents, who weren't necessarily doing the drug that brought me down, but it's not about the drugs. It's about the behavior. It's about the self-centered, self-seeking, pity pot blame game. And I'm getting better one day at a time, and I can't live in a situation where I'm getting yelled at for leaving a dish in the sink, or I'm getting, I'm just getting yelled at and cursed out and called, every name in the book that you could think of to call, an addict. What we call ourselves, but it's not okay if you call me that. So I made a choice to go into a recovery home. I moved into the city from the suburbs, and they didn't like that. My dad wanted to continue to control my life. And they were scared, because to me, Chicago was nothing but a place to get drugs before that. The only reason I ever went to the city was to get drugs. My parents were concerned, and I understand that, because, they love me and I'm an addict. So I ended up moving into the city, and it was the best decision that I ever made. Absolutely, by far, hands down, the best decision I ever made. The North City, the way that area feels to me, it feels like home. I feel like even the first 90 days spent in the north suburbs. I came to North City, and it's like I didn't know anyone, and now I just have this ever-expanding network of people. You know, I come here and I know people. That's like how big this is getting for me. So I stayed there for about 10 months, and you know, now I live in an apartment. I live in an apartment with another person in recovery. Like, it's really nice. This is the first time in my life that I pay my own rent. I pay for my own shampoo and conditioner. I pay for my own toothbrush. I buy my own toilet paper. Like, it might sound silly to you guys, but I mean, when I was out there, I didn't have a toothbrush. My clothes smelled like, I mean, it was like wearing the cleanest, dirtiest thing I owned. Like, take the smell test and see what I'm going to wear today. And I happened to smell the stuff after I got out of detox, and I was just like, throw that away. Like, don't even put that in the washer. But that's how I lived. I mean, from between when I came in and today, I mean, I came in baggy leggings. I came in about 50 pounds lighter than I am now. And I'm like, that's unreal. Baggy leggings. That's scary. I was a walking skeleton. One thing I've done throughout the last 15 months was take suggestions. Make a 90 and 90. Get a sponsor. Like, get phone lists. I look around here and I see and feel like I'm in Jurassic Park with all you guys. Like, I'm the baby. I have like 15 months. I see 33 years, like 10 years, 20-something years. So I got a phone list because I want your numbers. I want what you guys have. I want to be happy, joyous, and free, and that's how I do it. I call you. That's how I expand my network. I'm so grateful for recovery. Like, when I came in, it's like I had this image of recovery that it was just church basements and coffee and cigarettes. But it's so much more than that. Because we go to these church basements and drink coffee and smoke cigarettes, we get to do things like go to conventions, and we get to go to retreats, and we get to fellowship, and we get to make friends and build relationships. I don't know about you guys, but I came in and had to change everything. Anybody that I talked to, anybody that I associated with, I couldn't have them in my new life. There are people that, you know, a couple ones that stuck around, but they understand where I'm at. And they understand that, like, if they want to hang out with me, it's going to be, let's go out to dinner, or let's get a cup of coffee, and that's it. I'm not going to go to your college graduation party or your birthday party that's at a bar. I don't do that, because I know if I hang out in the barbershop, I'm going to get a haircut. I'm not the kind of addict that can have one of anything. And I'm not that kind of addict that, I'm just not that one. Like, it's 0 to 100. And I know that I can't drink today. Alcohol is a drug. And alcohol is the worst of them all because it's legal. It's everywhere. I'm grateful that that's not what brought me down, because I don't have to look at it every day. But the fact of the matter is like, I don't need to be around it. I don't like being around people that are out there. It's not fun. It's scary to me, because it's scary. It's scary when people go back out. I've heard one of my sisters in the program, she's like, I'd rather you act a fool in here than go back out there. Because, like, the reality of the situation is we die. At jails, institutions, and death, and not in that order. I've earned my seat here, and I'm grateful for it. And I don't care how many times it takes you to get this, it's worth it. And I will be here. Like, I will be here with a hug. I learned early on, one of the first friends that I had in the rooms kept going back out, and you know, I had no knowledge of the third tradition. The only requirement for membership to this program is a desire to stop using. I was like, how are you going to come into the meeting and not out? How can I look at you doing that? And I had to read the book. I had to read the third tradition and read it, and it works how and why, and it broke it down. How can I judge anyone's desire? How can I think that I'm any different than you just because I got this? I don't got this. Let me rephrase. I'm getting it. I'm learning how to stay clean. But how can I look at you like you have 3 heads just because you're struggling? One thing that my sponsor did, it wasn't even a suggestion, but every meeting I was at with her, you know, she didn't go up to, you know, her friends like, hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. It was like, I don't know you, so I'm going to come up and give you a hug. Or that struggling newcomer in the corner that might not know anybody, that's isolating, because isolation is that's what I do. When I don't know anyone, I shut down and I get on my phone, because that's my safety net. But it's about working through the fears. Like, I mean, this is terrifying to sit in front of here and talk to you guys. But at the end of the day, like, that's what people did for me when I first came around. And it's not that scary because you're just me, and I'm just you. We're all in this together, and there's no reason why, I can't look at myself and let my disease tell me I have nothing to say. Like, there's a reason why I'm here, and there's a reason why everyone's here, and there's a reason, I'm grateful that Bob asked me to come speak. I feel like I'm getting sick, some type of bug today, and all day I was just like, I don't want to do anything. But I was asked to be of service, so I show up. As another suggestion early on, you're asked to be of service, you be of service. I have service positions. I do H&I. I am a GSR for a meeting. I go to area. I speak at meetings, apparently, but because I have to give away what was so freely given to me. If I'm not of service, I'm stealing from the program that saved my life, and I don't steal anymore. I don't have to live like that because that was my life. I stole from everything. I would steal your shit and help you look for it, but today I don't have to do that. I'll help you look for it because I didn't steal it. And I think that's all I got, and I don't want to ramble, so I'll keep coming back.
Thanks.